Hi, everyone, and welcome to the very last official episode of the Young People's Money Podcast. That's right, this series was always meant to be a short one. This podcast was created over the course of several months, and a lot of things have changed since I started this for a lot of my guests. Some no longer have the same jobs that they were talking about. Some who have said they liked their job no longer like their job. I'm no exception. For me, I know if I were to answer the same questions that I did in episode 1, I'd answer a few of them differently. Some because my circumstances changed, and others because my opinions changed. Goes to show that change in our lives happens unexpectedly sometimes and quickly. And the best thing you can do is develop good financial habits so that if you total your car, you have an emergency fund that you can use. If you win the lottery, you won't blow it all on something stupid. Be smart, don't be dumb. Our perspective of and our relationships with money change over time, and they are more complicated than what many people think. Money is not just paper. It's not just this lifeless, meaningless currency. If someone is attached to money, it's not just about having it. It's about what having it represents. Freedom or power or whatever it is. There's emotion tied to it. There's hopes and dreams. There's childhood trauma. And it only helps to talk about it. So I was actually kind of nervous about creating this podcast because I was unsure if anyone was going to say yes to being a guest. Did people even want to talk about their money and this openly? But I asked around and I shared the idea. I started with my closest friends, and over the course of a month, I asked 13 different people to be on this podcast. Out of those 13, 8 said yes. The fact that the majority of people I asked were down to record with me tells me that the stigma around money talks among 20-somethings is already dissipating. It's not as big as I thought it was, which is great news. I know growing up, my parents didn't talk about money, especially not with other people. But apparently times have changed. With the rise of financial education on social media in the past few years specifically, the work to normalize this topic has already been initiated. But we're far from done. Maybe one day everyone in the whole world will be comfortable with talking about their money. Until that day, I leave you with the Young People's Money Podcast. I tried to ask a variety of different people with careers in different industries to demonstrate that there is an abundance of options in one's life. In this series, we heard from an artist, a salesperson, someone in finance, a barista, photographers, engineers. Everyone comes from a unique background with a unique skill set, and I specifically asked for so many details like salary and expenditures from my guests so that you, my listeners, can evaluate your own finances and maybe start to ask yourselves some important questions. Are you working in the right industry? Should you be spending more on things that bring you joy? Should you be cutting back? Are you happy with how you're handling your personal finances? Is there something you want to change on your monthly budget? Do you want to start investing? Whatever it is, I genuinely hope you got something out of this podcast, big or small. That's it from me for now. It was so much fun creating content again, so a huge thanks to everyone who supported me in this endeavor. And thank you so much for listening, and good luck.